In this video, we're going to talk about menopause diet plan to lose weight. If you're new to this channel, I'm Dr. June, a doctor of acupuncture and herbal medicine specializing in holistic weight loss. And I'm going to summarize 4 main components of a successful diet plan for menopausal women looking to get in shape. Before we dive in, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on the notification bell so you can stay updated on my latest weight loss content. Now, let me share with you what the true purpose of weight loss is from a holistic health perspective. Losing weight is more than just stepping on the scale and seeing the numbers that you want to see. Because losing weight is about A, healing your body from the inside out so that you regain your health, and B, upgrading your lifestyle choices by eliminating the root cause of what's making you overweight. You would be wise to avoid any weight loss programs, diets, or treatments that do not heal you and upgrade your life for the long run, because they're almost always unsustainable and can potentially wreck your health. So let's dive into the 4 essential points to consider when you're setting up a diet plan. Point number 1, hydration. This is the single most powerful component of your weight loss. Food and eating habits are important, but your hydration needs to come first. You see, water is a universal solvent that cleanses your entire body, made of trillions of cells. Water is needed for your body to heal from the inside out. And you've probably heard that water takes up majority of your body, so it's no-brainer to think that the healthiest version of yourself would hold the highest quality of water. Now, you might have heard gurus and influencers explain how outdated it is to be drinking 8 glasses of water daily. Some of them recommend eating your water through hydrating foods such as cucumbers, celery, and watermelon. And there's no doubt these foods contain a lot of water and provide numerous health benefits. However, eating your water really depends on the quality of the water that you're eating. So eating hydrating foods that have been sprayed with pesticides and chemically treated in a commercial setting is not healing you, period. I mean, is it even hydrating you at that point? And more importantly, you need to realize that you are losing bodily fluids every single day. The exact amount depends on your location, weather, diet, and activity levels, but there are 4 universal pathways that water exits out of your body. I first stumbled across these 4 main pathways from the teachings of Dr. James Chappell, who is a traditional naturopath and a medical herbalist. The first pathway that we lose bodily fluids is from respiration. And how much water you lose from your lungs depends on how you breathe and how much moisture is in the air. For example, the deeper you breathe, the more moisture you will release. And the faster you breathe, such as when you're exercising, the more fluids or more moisture you will release. And also remember that when you sleep, you are getting rid of moisture from your body all night. The second way of losing our bodily fluids is from sweating. As you know, the skin is the largest elimination organ of the body, and every pore releases toxins and moisture. And your body temperature and environmental temperature will also determine how much moisture you will lose. The hotter you are, the more moisture you will lose. And when you're engaged in activity that increases your core temperature, such as exercise, or when sleeping, that's also when you are expelling moisture from your body. The third way that we lose water is from defecation. Healthy people have healthy bowel movements, and your diet will determine what your bowel movement will look like and how often you have one. And if you're consuming enough water, an adult bowel movement will be about 1 foot long, and it will be well formed. It will float to the surface of the toilet bowl water. And if this is not the case, then you may be dehydrated. And finally, we have urination. And this is pretty straightforward. Your living environment, your environmental temperature, how often and how much you exercise, what you eat and drink will determine how often you urinate. And one way of determining hydration is looking at the color of your urine. And the goal is to have urination that's lightly yellow. Some people say, oh, you gotta have clear urine every single time you go to the toilet. But according to traditional Eastern medicine, clear urine can be a sign of coldness inside of our body. That means your body could be producing clear urine because it is cold, not necessarily because it is fully hydrated. But yes, any urine color darker than light yellow could indicate dehydration. But here, you must also exercise some common sense. If you had taken a multivitamin with a lot of vitamin C, for example, or if you drank beverage that had coloring in it or food with coloring, then your urine might reflect those foods and supplements or drinks that you just had. So keep that in mind. So then the question would be, well, how much water do we need to drink every day to fully replenish the fluids that we lose? The rule of thumb for me is to first find out the weight that you feel most comfortable and feel healthiest in. That would be your ideal weight, right? So once you find your ideal weight, and this could vary among different people. Some people, some women feel most comfortable at 130 pounds, others at a heavier weight. And all of this really depends on your body composition, your frame. And so whatever that number is, what you want to do is you want to divide that weight by 2 and convert that into ounces. That is the amount of water you should be replacing every day. So for example, if your ideal weight is 128 pounds, you divide that by 2, which is 64, convert that into ounces, that's 64 ounces of water. That is ideal for your body. Now, experiment with that amount because you may need more depending on the weather condition, depending on your activity levels. You may need even more or less. Observe how your body reacts to this amount of water, but make no mistake, hydrating yourself every single day is the single most important thing you need to do for weight loss. Moving on, point number 2, morning coffee. Many of you watching probably drink a cup of coffee immediately after waking up, and this is something that I greatly advise against. Instead, experiment with drinking coffee a couple of hours after starting your day. This is especially important for menopausal women going through hormonal changes. Here's why. In order for us to fall asleep, we need enough of production of neurotransmitters called adenosine. If you're not familiar with neurotransmitters? Imagine them as tiny little chemical signals that help your brain cells communicate with each other. So throughout the day, adenosine builds up, which gradually makes us more and more tired until it's time to hit the hay. As we sleep, our bodies clear out this adenosine so that when we wake up, we feel refreshed. However, if you have not gotten enough sleep, adenosine sticks around, which keeps you feeling groggy. And the less sleep you get, the more adenosine hangs around. And at that point, when you imbibe a caffeinated drink, that morning coffee, the caffeine swoops in and blocks your adenosine receptors. This means even if you did not catch enough Z's, you will not feel the full sleepy effects of adenosine. Instead, you'll feel more awake and ready to tackle the day. Unfortunately though, caffeine eventually wears off, and once it leaves your system, adenosine returns with a vengeance. And this is what gives you that midday slump or morning slump a few hours after drinking your coffee. Now, you might wonder, postponing your morning coffee would delay the slump until later in the day, wouldn't it? Thankfully, that's not the case. In fact, waiting to indulge your cup of joe about a couple hours after waking up can help you bypass that mid-morning slump altogether. And this is because of another key hormone responsible for alertness called cortisol. Shortly after waking up, your body experiences a surge in cortisol levels, which helps clear out adenosine. And if you guzzle caffeine before this cortisol spike, it interferes with the healthy cortisol production. And this is crucial because the imbalance in the cortisol level is what causes the fat buildup, especially in your belly area. Look up cortisol belly for more information on this. So by holding off on your morning caffeine dose, you're letting your body naturally awake itself from the slumber and avoiding belly fat accumulation by promoting healthy cortisol levels. So delay your caffeine intake in the morning, but make sure it does not affect the quality of sleep at night. Because when it comes to successful weight loss, sleep is just as important as the diet itself. And I'm going to dive deeper into that component on a separate video. Now, some folks have trouble falling asleep after drinking coffee in the afternoon. And yes, I'm one of them folks, speaking from experience. So generally, I recommend getting all your daily dose of caffeine before 2 o'clock in the afternoon. So to summarize, wait until a couple of hours to get your first cup of coffee and avoid drinking caffeinated beverages once it's mid-afternoon. Now let's get into point number 3, time-restricted eating. Now, some people interchangeably use this term with intermittent fasting, but the semantics don't matter as much for the purpose of this video. So the whole concept is this. You set a window of time when you're letting your digestive system rest. This is when the healing occurs via production of growth hormones that rejuvenate and repair your cells. And outside of that window is when you eat foods that your body digests well. So not just any food, because hopefully many of you are aware that you are what you eat, but you're actually what you eat, digest, and absorb. What you eat is useless if your stomach cannot break it down. And the food that is broken down is useless if your intestines cannot absorb the necessary nutrients from the food, either because A, the food content has no useful nutritional value to be extracted, or B, your digestive organs are weakened, damaged, which prevents proper absorption of food. So if your gut health is compromised, it would be wise to start on a regimen of high quality probiotics and prebiotics together, a comprehensive digestive enzymes, and a nutritional formula to heal your damaged gut lining and reduce inflammation, especially if you are dealing with acid reflux. You see, the gut health is connected to so many different systems of our body. For example, the digestive system, the gut microbiome, and the brain are connected via nervous system. So your gut health directly influences your mental and emotional wellness. Also, majority of our immune system originates from the gut. So it is crucial to get your gut health in healthy balance for you to truly achieve the holistic weight loss that you're looking for. And if you're one of those people that need to optimize their gut health, then check out our online nutraceutical store, ppnutra.com, and search for the Gut Health Bundle. Matter of fact, I'm going to leave the link in the description and in the comments below so you guys can go and check it out, see for yourselves, and how it could help you achieve better gut health. I also made plenty of videos regarding how gut health influences your health, well-being, and weight loss, so go ahead and check those videos out. Now, going back to the time-restricted eating, here's the biggest mistake everybody's making. Is that they're obsessed with not eating. You need to stop that way of thinking right now and reprogram your mind to eat well when it's time to eat. This is key. Now, you might be asking, hey, Dr. June, when is the appropriate time to eat? To that, I'll ask, what time do you think our ancestors ate their meals? Is it during the day or at night? And when I talk about ancestors, I'm talking about ancient human beings from thousands of years ago, before electricity lit up the world in our cozy home 24/7 with the flick of a switch and kept our food refrigerated. Our ancestors had no access to food once the sun went down. They could not go hunting. They barely ate at night. Just went straight to sleep. And look at us now in 2024, at the time of this recording. Eating at nighttime has become a cultural norm. And this is a problem, especially for those dieting, because at nighttime our digestive function slows down. So eating at night messes with our metabolic health, which is connected to weight gain. So my rule of thumb with time-restricted eating is to eat only while the sun is up and have 2 filling meals that you're satisfied with. 2 meals is what I've found to be most effective for weight loss among my clients going through menopause. And if you're physically feeling hungry between meals, even with proper hydration, then you can have a healthy snack. If you're used to eating 3 square meals and are worried about your energy level dropping, well, did you know that your body can use the food that you ate and your body fat as energy sources? You see, your body is capable of eating your unnecessary belly fat. Now, isn't that a beautiful imagery that you want to meditate on every single day? Anyways, let's talk about a realistic eating schedule. And I say realistic because a lot of y'all have jobs, commute to work, and have busy schedules during the day. So for someone with a typical 9 to 5, it's very convenient for her to skip breakfast. And she would grab lunch near her workplace. Usually the options are limited and she doesn't get to eat quality food. So she's skipping breakfast, eating a mediocre lunch, or skipping that too if it's a very busy day, and binging at dinner, often late at night. So if that's you, experiment with this eating schedule. First, start your day with a morning feast and eat like a queen. And you may have to wake up earlier than usual, but do it anyway. Because that first meal during the morning calm is a perfect time for you to feed your body the necessary nutrients to fuel you for the day. And you could also bring the leftovers to work for lunch. Now, if you have absolutely no time to spare in the morning, pack your own lunch and snacks and make sure it fills you up so that you'd be less likely to overeat after work. The morning and lunch combination is ideal because you can go to sleep on an empty stomach. You see, after you eat, it takes up to 5 hours for your stomach to move the food contents to small intestine. So let's say you stop eating at 7 p.m. and you go to bed at 10 p.m. Chances are your body will still be digesting the food through the night. Which means instead of getting 8 hours of deep restorative sleep, you might only be getting 5 or 6 hours. So definitely experiment with eating only during the day and eating well. That's the biggest mindset shift that you need to have in order to be successful at dieting. You see, dieting has been so ingrained in our paradigm to be so restrictive and limiting and depriving of foods and nutrients. And that no longer has to be the case. Matter of fact, that is wrecking your health. That is not healing you. That is not upgrading your lifestyle. So we need to move away from the scarcity mindset. Now, the final point number 4, is to get rid of bad foods. And I'm sure many of you know what these bad foods are, but here are the categories of foods that I have found to be especially harmful. And number 1 on that bad food list is sugar. And that also includes artificial sweeteners and high fructose corn syrup. It doesn't really help us a whole lot eating sugar when we're actually trying to burn fat. Sugar is notorious for adding inflammation to our body, which is the biggest driver, which is actually the root cause for many of ill health and disease, including weight gain. Second on the bad food list is going to be refined carbohydrates that contain gluten. So this means pastries, white bread, and These can contribute to poor gut health, leaky gut, inflammation in the gut. And so if you're allergic to gluten, it's obvious that you would need to avoid eating gluten-rich foods. And this leads directly to number 3. The third food to avoid is whatever food that your body is allergic to, that your body sends signals that it just cannot digest it properly. You got to get rid of that food. So for some people, it's meat. For others, it's certain types of vegetables. In the past, I was allergic to shellfish. So I make the conscious decision not to eat a whole lot of it. No matter how beneficial the food is touted as among doctors, healers, if your body does not respond well to it, then it's not the best food for you. You see, you got to personalize this approach to fit your current health condition. Moving on, the fourth item to avoid is seed oils. Now, when I say seed oils, these are industrially produced, chemically processed seed oils that you find. The canola oil, sunflower seed oil, many of these seed oils that are plant-based directly contribute to wrecking your metabolic health. The fifth food to avoid is fried foods, especially those fried with seed oils. I mean, that's just a recipe for disaster. And you all know why fried foods is going to be not so beneficial for weight loss. Up next, we have alcohol. And for many of you, this might be a tough one. I know it's very, very nice to come home after a grueling day at work and wind down with a glass of wine. However, alcohol can really damage your liver, which in turn directly affects your metabolic health. And ensuring that you have optimal metabolism is going to be the best and efficient way for you to lose weight. So now I just listed these 6 foods that are bad for weight loss. And of course, going cold turkey on all of them is the ideal plan. But let's be realistic. Some of you really enjoy these foods, and you might be just very well used to eating a slice of bread every day. So what we want to do is we want to keep a balanced approach. So if going cold turkey is unrealistic for you, then at least start cutting down on these foods little by little, gradually, until you reach the weight that you feel most comfortable and healthy in. Until you reach the ideal weight, you want to cut back on these foods. And it doesn't have to be all of them at once. You can start with one particular type of food, start gradually cutting them out, then on to the next one, etc. The choice is yours, but similar to the point that I made about how people are obsessed with not eating when they're on a diet, you also need to get out of that paradigm of constantly thinking about not eating bad food. Instead, the bad food that you eliminate should be replaced with healthy whole foods. Think about that. As you're getting rid of these bad foods, you gotta fill it up with nutritious options to heal your body, to fuel your body. So this diet plan is never going to be about restricting yourself. It's about replenishing the nutrients that your body needs for optimal metabolism while minimizing the bad foods that are harmful. And because we live in the modern world, it's not going to be easy quitting all these bad foods. I mean, you're going to run into social functions and events where they're going to have these type of foods out, and it's going to be tough. That's why I say to keep things realistic. If you do end up eating some of these bad foods, well, make sure you're eating just as much healthy foods, if not more, to offset. So that'll do it for this video. I just went over 4 key points for menopause diet plan for weight loss. I'm confident that this is the fundamentals that you need to get your weight loss on the right path. And if you have any questions, feel free to leave comments below, as well as any observations, any updates that you have while following these 4 guidelines. I'd be happy to hear how your weight loss journey is progressing. And if you need further guidance on implementing these 4 steps, as well as other important components of weight loss, I offer a one-on-one customized weight loss solution that is catered to your realistic goals, your situation, and your health condition. So I'm gonna leave a link to my website down in the description and in the comments below, so you guys can go ahead and check it out and book a free consultation with me so that we can go over your plan together. If you found this video helpful, please share with your loved ones who may also benefit from watching it. As always, this is Dr. June, and remember to stay focused and move forward. See you on the next one.